My name is Ryan and I'm in recovery. I am tired. Not long woken up and just working my way through some of the questions on my comments on my recent videos. This question is, do you think you and your ex splitting up made you relapse? Keep up the great work. First thing to say is that I make a point of not talking about my ex too much on here. We're still on really good terms. We share custody of my dog, which you'll know if you've seen previous videos. Custody sounds a bit intense, but yeah, we got a dog together. We were actually, to give you the lowdown, we were engaged to be married. We were meant to have got married, but our wedding got cancelled because of COVID. And then we decided to get a dog instead, to kind of soften the blow. We also bought a flat together. So, we had a life plan together. For various reasons, things didn't work out. My addiction definitely played a big part in the problems we had. But we're still on really good terms. She's a great person. We're friends. We talk regularly. Our lives are still very much intertwined. But yeah, around the time when we broke up, I was actually clean. We were going through a rough patch and, not getting on, arguing. We'd been kind of spending little periods of time apart, taking breaks from each other and stuff like that. And we were really butting heads. And I decided I got clean for a little period because I thought, maybe if I can get clean, it'll help salvage the relationship. But it didn't. I think, for various reasons, I think the relationship just didn't work. Maybe we just weren't meant for each other. But yeah, so actually around the time when we broke up, I was clean and I stayed clean for that period afterwards. If you've been in a long-term relationship that's not really working and then you get out of it, you'll probably know that you do get a bit of a bounce straight afterwards because so much of your energy when you're in a relationship that isn't working is consumed by that bad relationship. So when you come out of it, you've kind of got energy to spare again and you can channel that into other things. So I was actually hit a good stride for a little while. But yeah, it didn't really last. I think the big problem for me was that, I mentioned in previous videos that we then were living, the flat that we owned together, I then took it over and was just living there by myself after we split up. And that's where the heavy using really started because, sometimes in the past where I'd use at home, I'd have to keep a lid on it because I lived with someone. I couldn't just be there on some mad bender. I had some accountability. But when you live by yourself, you can just lock the door and there's no accountability. You can get on it for days. And that's what I did often. So I think that's really where wouldn't say split it up. My ex itself was the reason for the relapse or the kind of heavy using, but I think but just living by myself and the circumstances it put me in created a bad situation that then resulted in my addiction really becoming intense.